The weekend getaway. You ever get that feeling and that creeping sensation that something just isn't right? That maybe you're not as safe as you think you are? I always thought I was just paranoid. Until last year, when I learned the hard way that sometimes that feeling's the only thing keeping you alive. It was a Friday night, and I was driving upstate to meet my two best friends, Adam and Derek, for a weekend getaway at a secluded cabin in the mountains. We'd all been stressed with work, and this was supposed to be our way of unwinding, just the three of us, a case of beer, and no responsibilities. The cabin was old, tucked away deep in the woods. No Wi-Fi, barely any cell service, just miles of trees in every direction. It was perfect, or at least that's what I thought. By the time I arrived, Adam and Derek had already started drinking. The energy was good at first, but as the night went on, something shifted. Derek had a way of pushing people's buttons, and that night I was the target. The jokes started small, little jabs about me always being cautious, always worrying too much. Adam joined in, laughing a little too hard at my expense. I played along, but something about the way they looked at each other, these strange glances they kept exchanging, made my stomach tighten. It was past midnight when I decided to call it a night. I was sick of their shit. I told them I was tired and headed to my room, but as I lay in bed I could hear them talking in hushed voices just outside my door. Just do it while he's asleep. Get it over with. No, let's wait till morning. Out in the woods, less of a mess. My entire body went cold. I stayed completely still, my breathing shallow. They had to be effing with me, right? Just another stupid joke. But something about the way they were speaking, so calm, so methodical, it didn't feel like a joke. Slowly, I reached for my phone. No signal. My heart was pounding in my ears. I knew I couldn't just stay there and hope it was nothing. I slipped out of bed as quietly as I could, barely daring to breathe. My keys were on the nightstand. I grabbed them and moved toward the door, listening. The house was silent now. I opened the door just a crack. The hallway was dark. The only light came from the living room, where I could just make out their shadows sitting on the couch. I forced myself to step out, creeping toward the front door. Every step felt deafening, like they could hear my heartbeat. Then the floor creaked. Instantly their conversation stopped. I didn't wait. I sprinted the last few feet, yanked open the door, and bolted for my car. Behind me I heard them running after me. I fumbled with my keys, hands shaking so badly I nearly dropped them. Chris, what the hell are you doing? I didn't answer. I jumped into my car, locked the doors, and started the engine. Adam was halfway down the porch steps when I peeled out of the driveway, my tires kicking up dirt and gravel. I didn't stop driving until I saw the glow of a gas station miles away. My hands were still shaking when I finally pulled over and checked my phone. 1 bar of service. I called the cops. Told them everything. Where the cabin was, what I heard. I wasn't even sure what I was reporting, but something told me I needed to say something. Later I found out that Adam and Derek had a prank planned for me. They were going to drug me and leave me tied up in the woods, just for a laugh. At least, that's what they told the cops. That was BS. I know what I heard. They weren't planning to tie me up. They were planning to make sure I never left those woods. I never spoke to either of them again. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for spine-chilling horror content and to watch more scary videos. Please share with family and friends. The group chat secret. Lena always thought her group of friends was tight-knit, but things started feeling strange when they created a separate group chat without her. She only found out by accident. Her friend Zoe had left her phone unlocked, and Lena saw the notifications pop up. Curiosity got the best of her. She read the messages. At first it was just normal gossip, the kind you hear every day. Friends sharing stories, laughing about trivial things, and whispering secrets that seemed harmless. But then she saw her own name pop up on the screen, and her heart skipped a beat. What she read next upset her heart. I can't believe her slow ass hasn't figured it out yet, the message said. Her eyes widened in disbelief as she continued to read. She actually thinks we're her friends, LOL. The words stung like 1,000 needles. The smirking faces and laughing emojis only made it worse. Let's see how long we can keep messing with her, another message read. Lena felt sick to her core. Every inside joke she had laughed at, every friendly invitation she had accepted. It had all been part of some cruel game. She felt utterly betrayed sitting alone, the weight of their deceit pressing down on her. Instead of confronting them right away, she decided to test it. She wanted to be sure before making any accusations. She needed to see if her suspicions were valid or if she was just overthinking things. So she chose a different approach. The next time they went out, she played it cool, laughing and joking along with them. She wanted to blend in, to observe without drawing attention to herself. That is when she saw how fake they were. She noticed the sneaky glances they exchanged, the way they whispered to one another when they thought she wasn't looking. It was all becoming clearer. Little things, like convincing her to drink more than she wanted, pushing her boundaries just to see how far they could go. They made it seem like it was all in good fun, but she knew better. Making her the butt of every joke, laughing at her expense. They would tease her relentlessly, making her feel small and insignificant. It was all part of their sick game. Leading her away from the group only to ditch her in an unfamiliar crowded place. They would leave her stranded, pretending it was an accident. But she knew it was deliberate, a way to isolate and control her. She had seen enough. She finally snapped when she found out the worst part. They had placed bets on how much they could push her before she broke down crying. That night she made a life-altering decision. She cut off every single one of them, deleting contacts and severing ties with friends she once held dear. It was a painful but necessary step. She moved cities, leaving behind the memories and the pain. She changed her number, hoping to start fresh, to escape the shadows of her past. The new city was a chance for a new beginning, but every so often she gets a friend request from a name she doesn't recognize. Each notification brings a mix of curiosity and dread, a reminder of the life she left behind. She can't shake the feeling of being made a fool of, the sense that someone is still out there, waiting to play their next sick game. The past, it seems, is not so easily left behind. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for spine-chilling horror content and to watch more scary videos. Please share with family and friends. The house key. Let me tell you something I haven't told anyone, not even my therapist. It started with something so small I almost didn't notice. A drawer left open, a flickering lamp, my cat acting like it saw something I couldn't. But then I saw the footage, and I can't unsee it. I haven't slept very well since. I'm a 21-year-old woman who back in 2022 I moved into my first apartment. Nothing fancy, just a one-bedroom in a quiet part of town. I was proud of it. And like any adult trying to feel independent, I made a few responsible decisions. One was giving a spare key to my best friend Lauren. We'd known each other since junior high school, more than 10 years. She was like a sister. I trusted her with everything. So it just made sense. She even helped me move in. The first few months were normal. We texted almost every day, hung out on weekends. Nothing weird. But after a while, things started to feel off. At first, it was just small stuff. I'd come home from work and notice a kitchen drawer open, or my bathroom mirror fogged up like someone had just taken a shower. I live alone. I thought maybe I was just being paranoid. Maybe I forgot to close the drawer. Maybe the mirror fogged up from steam rising through the vents. But then my cat, Oliver, started acting strange. He'd sit in front of my bedroom door and hiss at it, like someone was on the other side. Then came the shampoo. One morning I was in the shower and noticed it was mostly water. The bottle had been refilled, but the consistency was off. I started feeling like I was losing it, so I did something I never thought I'd do. I ordered a cheap security cam off Amazon and hid it in the corner of my living room, aimed toward the front door, just to ease my mind. The first few nights, nothing happened. I checked the footage every morning, everything was all clear. Then one morning I checked the footage from the night before. There was a clip, 2:17 a.m. I watched myself asleep on the couch. I'd fallen asleep watching a TV show. And then, out of nowhere, my front door unlocked. It didn't burst open. It didn't creak. It just slowly opened and someone stepped in. It was Lauren. She was barefoot, wearing a hoodie, hair tied up. She closed the door behind her like she'd done it 100 times before. And then she just stood there. She stood over me while I slept for 10 straight minutes, not moving, not saying a word, just standing there. I watched her on the screen, standing over me, staring, like she was trying to memorize my face, like she was studying me. Then she walked to the kitchen, opened drawers, opened the fridge. She sniffed one of my shirts from the laundry basket. And worst of all, she stared directly into the camera. I didn't move. I didn't blink. Then she just walked out, locking the door. I just sat there watching the footage until my fingers went numb, thinking, what the hell, this is the weirdest thing ever. I was confused and scared. I grabbed my cat, my laptop, a few clothing, and I left. I drove 2 towns over to my cousin's place. Then I texted Lauren, pretending everything was normal. She replied like nothing happened. I've been meaning to check in. How's everything? I made small talk, but never confronted her about entering my apartment. I don't think I could have handled whatever explanation she had. Instead, I blocked her, changed my number, told my landlord I lost my keys and had the locks replaced. And then a few days later, I moved out, not telling Lauren. I haven't seen her since, but here's the part that still messes with me. When I moved out, I returned all the keys, except one, the original spare I gave to Lauren. I wonder if she ever tried that key again. Maybe she just threw it away. But sometimes, when I'm walking home, late, I feel like I'm being followed, like someone's always a few steps behind me. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just the trauma. But I still think about that footage, the way she looked at me, the way she stared straight into the camera, like she knew it was there. You never really know a person. It all started with a key. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for spine-chilling horror content and to watch more scary videos. Please share with family and friends.